Hello, my name is Cody Haddad, the Halifax Town Administrator, and welcome to Cody's Corner, a new monthly series that we will be premiering here with the assistance of Area 58 to provide Halifax residents and the community with an in-depth look on what's happening here in Halifax. The goal of this is to provide you with news, announcements, updates, anything really going on in the town to keep you aware of everything going on. So this first episode will really just be an overview, an introduction of myself as your new town administrator, fairly new since January. And going forward, we'll look to have in different guests, different departments, department heads, members of the community to really just give you an overview of what's going on in Halifax. So back to myself, like I said, my name is Cody Haddad. I am the town administrator in Halifax. I've been here since January. Prior to that, I was the assistant town administrator in the town of Dartmouth. Prior to being the assistant town administrator, I was the director of community and development and grants. In that position, I oversaw community and economic development for the town, all grant projects, and really acted as the assistant town administrator as the position didn't exist at the time. When I was promoted to assistant town administrator, I really kept up with the projects as the director of development, but I also started overseeing day-to-day operations of many of our departments and assisted the select board and the town administrator with policy and goals of the town. And then an opportunity in Halifax came up, and I took that opportunity, and really ever since it's been great. The community and the staff have welcomed me with open arms. It's been a great transition. I'm very excited to be here, and so thank you to all of you for really the warm welcome thus far. Now that you know a little bit about myself, I wanted to just go over some of the things that we've accomplished thus far. Like I said, it's only been 8 months now, or going on 9, but we've gotten quite a bit done. So coming in, we had to develop a balanced budget. We have a very good team in Halifax in our financial departments. So with the assistance of our town accountant, Sandy Nolan, and our finance committee, and the selectmen, we developed a balanced budget, provided level services to the community. We didn't have to reduce any level of services. And we also were able to expand some of our services in different areas. So we were able to bring back a part-time conservation agent, which will assist our Conservation Commission. We added the position of Deputy Police Chief and filled that with a longtime Police Sergeant, Ted Benner. It was promoted to Deputy Chief. And other just housekeeping items to really keep the town flowing and operationally efficient for all of you. We also completed town meeting in one night this year, which was a great accomplishment, and again, a team effort. It took all of us. We made some changes to the warrant. We introduced for the first time a capital plan rather than showing you each article, capital item in a separate article. We presented it all as one article and as a capital plan. We look forward to doing that in future town meetings, and we also look forward to creating more efficiencies. We recognize that your time is very valuable, and we appreciate you coming out to town meeting, so we want to be as quick and efficient as possible. And thank you to everyone who did come out to town meeting in creating such an efficient process, and also a thank you to our moderator and our whole team, Area 58, and the team at the Halifax Town Hall for making that go off without a hitch. I've negotiated with the assistance of the selectmen 5 union contracts with our 5 unions. We do have 5 unions in the town. So we have 2 within our police department. One of them is for our patrolmen, and the other one is for our sergeants. Our deputy chief and our chief are both individually contracted positions. We have one union within our fire department, and that consists of all the full-time firefighters within the firehouse. We have a highway union, and that consists of our highway department employees. And we have a mixed unit, is what we call it, and it actually is exactly what it sounds like, where it is a mix of water department employees and municipal maintenance employees and a couple administrative assistants. So we were able to successfully negotiate those contracts and by the July 1st, and those are now implemented. We have secured a couple of grants. Coming from the town of Dartmouth as the Director of Development and Grants, I have extensive experience in grant management and going after grants that make sense for the town. We secured one grant to complete a compensation and classification study. This really will look at how we pay our employees and create for internal and external equity. It's important that we are paying our employees equitably, and we are also being competitive with communities that are comparable to the town of Halifax. So that study is ongoing. The goal is for us to implement those results at a special town meeting, which I will get to here shortly. And another grant that we are currently working on is a grant to review our HR organization and structure. So the town of Halifax does not have a designated human resources individual who works just human resources. The duties really fall upon the town administrator, different members of our treasurer collector's office, and we do have outside labor counsel that assist us. But it really, the town of Halifax is a large organization, a large employer. The town itself has over 100 full-time employees now. And it's time that we look at bringing in potentially a human resources employee who really focuses on that aspect of the job. We also will be looking at all of our policies and procedures in regards to human resources, including our personnel bylaw. And again, these are two grants that we were able to secure at no cost to the Halifax taxpayer. So very exciting that we're undertaking those projects that have been in the pipeline for quite some time. We have contracted with a vendor to upgrade our financial system. We currently use a system called SoftWrite, and that keeps track of all of our financials within the town. And what we'll be doing is because the system has become outdated, the company no longer provides updates to the system. So we have contracted with a new vendor called Springbrook. It's an online cloud system, and we will be working to implement that over the next several months to a year. With the assistance of our IT department and our finance divisions, our treasurer collector, assessor, and our town accountant. So very exciting that we'll be working on that. We've also adopted a code of conduct for our boards and committees. This is something that you see many municipalities have, but it really just sets a guideline for our boards and committee members in how to act during meetings and how to treat the public and be respectful and really treat staff in a respectable manner, treat the public in a respectable manner, and allow for greater operation within meetings. So that is something that the select board just adopted at a recent meeting. And one of the other more important things, I guess you could say, that we have done is we adopted selectmen goals. So the Board of Selectmen really are your chief policy makers for the town. You elect them, and I work in collaboration with them under their direction to implement what's best for the town. And with that, you need some guidance. You need to know what does the board look to accomplish over the next year, 5 years. So we did adopt several goals. If you go on our website, you can, under the Board of Selectmen page, you can find those goals. And it really just lays out some of the things we hope to do over the next year, which I will get to here in a few minutes. But if you're interested, please take a look. And we're always looking for feedback as we update these goals. We'll review them regularly and look at the things that we've accomplished and look at the things that we might want to add or remove. The town and the environment is always changing, so we have to adapt with the times. Now, what do we have coming up? That's just a tidbit of kind of what we've accomplished, but there's a lot coming up in the future. So I mentioned that special town meeting. So at the Board of Selectmen meeting on the September 26th, the board voted to set the special town meeting date of December 14th, 2023. So we will be holding that in the evening, a time to be announced, but we will be having a special town meeting where we'll be taking up several items, one of them being the compensation and classification plan implementation. There potentially could be some zoning changes that we'll be taking up. Also, we have a regional schools agreement with Plimpton and Kingston. That agreement needs to be revised. The Department of Elementary and Secondary Education from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts has notified us that the agreement as written is not necessarily the most up-to-date legal way that it needs to be. So we do need to revise that agreement, and we were given a deadline by the end of this calendar year. So that will be on the town meeting in December. Kingston and Plimpton are also having town meetings to go over that and get that approved. And at a future meeting, a future show of one of these, we will go over more in depth of what the changes look like, so you have a better idea of exactly what the changes are when you show up to town meeting and vote to hopefully approve this change. The potential zoning changes that I mentioned. The town, as I'm sure many of you are aware, has long been seeking to build a new council on aging. If you go to our current council on aging, while it's a great historic building, it's not very conducive to operating a council on aging, especially in a community. We have a very large elder population. We service a lot of elders, 60 plus, but we also serve a lot of disabled individuals, and we want to provide them with the best services possible. And unfortunately, the current building really doesn't allow for that. So we've been working on a council on aging for a number of years. At the town meeting in 2021, it would have been, the town was gracious enough to vote for approximately $1.7 million to fund the renovations of the Halifax Museum to create a new council on aging. Unfortunately, after really going through the process and looking at the options, the $1.7 million isn't going to be quite enough to move forward with that project. We also reviewed it as the Halifax Museum, while it would be a great addition to the Council on Aging and would certainly be an upgrade to what we have now, it's not necessarily the most conducive building either to operating a Council on Aging. So we put our heads together. We have a great team within the town to figure out what can we do with the least burden to the Halifax taxpayers, but also for the most impact to the residents in the Council on Aging. And what came about was, ultimately, there's a project in the pipeline of a developer looking to develop some land on Montponce Street. 265 Montponce Street is the property location. Different things have been floated around. One of them was to build affordable housing. A Chapter 40B project is what it's sometimes referred to. And that would have been over 200 units, apartments, with 25% of those being affordable in the states, what they consider affordable housing. That would have been a significant burden on the town, on our resources, our schools, our police, our fire, and we recognize that. And we met with the developers, and what we were able to do is come up with a plan that we feel is quite fair for both sides. And what that is the developer would seek zoning changes at our special town meeting on December 14th. That would allow them to move forward and build 55 plus condominiums. They would look to build just over 100 of them, so about half the amount of units. In addition, they would also look to assist the town in building a council on aging. So we would build a council on aging in the area of 265 Montponce Street. They would donate the land to the town. They would also provide a significant amount of funding in the range of $2 million to assist the town in building that council on aging. That, paired with the funding that town meeting has already allocated, we're quite confident that we could build a new senior center in a nice a location that we feel is centralized in the town of Halifax, but also provide a building that is conducive to a council on aging and provide the services that we need to the public. So that's very exciting. We're still working out some of the details, and I hope to have more information maybe at our October meeting show here, maybe our November one. And we'll also be doing tons of outreach with this. This project is vast. We recognize that. I had a great meeting over at the Council on Aging earlier this month. Council on Aging was kind enough to host me for a coffee hour, and we talked about this project among many others happening there. And so these are the types of things that I hope to do with the community, with all of you, to get to better know, what do you want to see Halifax become? What do you like about the town? What do you think could be improved? And that way there, we can all work together to get us there. So more information to come on that. We have also submitted a grant to turn all of our licensing and permitting online. So right now, our licensing and permitting, whether you go to our building department, our Board of Health, whatever it may be, town clerk's office, you need to fill out a paper application. Either you get that in person at the town hall, or maybe you print it out online, fill it in, and then it physically has to be turned in at town hall. We recognize that people are very busy, and it's not always feasible to come into town hall during our hours of operation. Sometimes even as a contractor, maybe you need to fill out a permit application on the weekend or at night. So what we're looking to do is turn all of our permitting and licensing online. We want to get rid of the paper process and make it accessible 24/7 to you as our residents and those doing business in town to make it easier so you can get through the process. With that goal, we hope to also make the process quicker as it'll be more streamlined and really just overall more efficient. So we did apply for that grant through the state. We hope to hear back on that sometime in November or December. And again, I look forward to providing you those updates at one of our upcoming shows. One of the other things that I would like to mention is we have undergone quite a few changes at the town hall, one of them being our hours of operation. So the town hall used to operate under hours of operation of Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. And town hall staff would actually work half days on Fridays from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. When we kind of surveyed the town hall employees and thinking of how we can create better services and more efficient operations for the public, we wanted to be able to expand to provide a later evening to town hall. So we did a trial run during the summer where our hours became Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, 7 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and Tuesdays, 7 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. It actually worked out quite well during the summer. And so at the September 26th Board of Selectmen meeting, it was voted to permanently change the hours to those. So just to reiterate, in case you didn't get it the first time or I wasn't clear, the new hours at Town Hall are Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, 7 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and Tuesdays, 7 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. So we really want to give everybody the option, whether you need to come in before work or school, or if you can't make it in, you can make it in hopefully sometime before 6:30 on Tuesdays, so to be more accessible to the public. One of the other changes at Town Hall is we've moved offices around. So in evaluating our space, as I'm sure you are aware, the town has grown since the Town Hall was built, and we have to redistribute resources in the space sometimes. So we did undergo that recently. So really, if you're coming into Town Hall and you're looking to apply for a license or permit, you're probably going to be serviced on the first floor now. So our building department, our Board of Health, Conservation, Planning Board, Zoning Board, all of them are now located on the first floor, really to try to make it more accessible for the public when they come in. Our more administrative offices have now moved upstairs to the second floor. So my office, the Town Administrator's office, the Board of Selectmen's office, the IT offices are now upstairs, where we aren't quite as public-facing and we don't have quite as much daily interaction. So we wanted to bring those offices that do down and a little bit easier for you all to get in there. And kind of in closing, keep the first episode rather short, but I look forward to being here in Halifax as your town administrator. Like I said, it really has been a great first 8 months. It's hard to believe that it's already been 8 months. And I really hope to continue this type of interaction, giving you updates of what's going on in town. And if you have any feedback, please, we want to hear feedback. I want to adjust, whether it's feedback on how we operate daily in the town hall, whether it's feedback on this show. I really look forward to receiving that from you. So feel free to contact myself directly. You can contact the Board of Selectmen's office and they would be able to get that message to me. But my best contact would be my email, which is my first name, last name. So it's Cody, C-O-D-Y, period, H-A-D-D, at halifax-ma.org. And that information can be found on the website. But I really look forward to being your town administrator for long term and bringing Halifax into the future and really creating more efficient services for the public. So with that, thank you. I hope you tune in to future episodes, and take care. Thank you.